How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to another edition of Sunday Snippet. I am your host, Daniel Mendonca, Director of Sales here. You may remember me from the If You Build It, Will They Learn podcast each week with my co-host, Scott Babcock. We've been on a little Sunday Snippet hiatus, but we're back with vengeance, or I don't know if that's the right term here, to talk about and expand on this week's podcast, which was on microlearning. Microlearning, one of my favorite topics, and one of the largest topics, and continues to be in the learning and development space. It's a very hot topic when we look at just-in-time learning, delivering content to users the way they want to receive it. And if you think about the way learners are receiving content in their day-to-day lives, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and others, they're all small, bite-sized chunks. So why not deliver them the learning content that you would like them to engage with in the same way? If you think about microlearning in the essence of your day-to-day, let's think about retail for a moment and narrow down the retail industry and really talk about how that works. In retail, you're constantly engaging with customers. You're constantly speaking to individuals as they walk in and out of a store, through the aisles. They're asking you questions. So engaging in information and engaging in learning may be difficult. So microlearning or just-in-time training is a way to provide them bite-sized chunks, little snippets, kind of like Sunday Snippets, of information throughout their day-to-day that's related to their role as they need it. Not necessarily in preparation for their role, but as they actually need it. So how do you go about effectively delivering micro learning into a training environment? Number one is making sure that it's mobile friendly. Obviously, we live in a mobile world. I would advise that all the training you put out into the world for your learners is optimized for mobile. But in this case, you want it to be easily accessible on the device that they have in their pocket. Most retail outlets are allowing users to bring their own device to work. So they can easily scan a barcode, type in a keyword, take a picture, and bring up those learnings, those micro learnings directly onto their device as they need the information. The other way to also maximize in the retail space is to start to teeter those micro learnings and dip your toe into the fact that they could potentially be used as a sales tool. So they're not necessarily all about information and knowledge and learning, but they could also start to allow you to overcome objections. They could be a nice interactive spec sheet or a 360 rendering of the product, or something that allows the customer who's standing next to the sales associate to engage in that microlearning as well, and get some clear, concise objectives across to them through the process. Overall, delivering your microlearning or delivering learning to sales associates in the retail environment is going to be based upon the feedback you receive from the learner. If they want more training where they're sitting back in the room in front of their computer, in front of an iPad, in front of a tablet, or whatever it may be, to take longer seat trainings, I would advise you look at doing that. But when it comes to microlearning, everybody nowadays is on the go. We're go. When you're in your job and in your role, you're always jumping from task to task. Provide them content they can easily, quickly digest, consume, and also go back to. And if you combine that with some of the other topics we've covered in the past few weeks, social learning and community, it allows people to easily share short bite-sized chunks to make sure your microlearning presence grows and is effective throughout the workday. That's it for me this week on Sunday Snippet. Thanks so much for listening. Remember, when you're delivering microlearning to your retail sales associates, provide them bite-sized chunks of content that they can consume when they need it, how they need it, where they need it, to make sure they're successful in their role. Have a good one, everybody.